We're having another lesson today called Simple Strokes. You're out there saying, I really want to do one stroke painting. I hear so many of you saying this, but you keep saying, I'm just not getting it. Help me get it. And how do I start? And how, if I'm a beginner, where do I start? These sessions that I'm doing on Friday afternoons at noon are all about simple strokes. Simple one-stroke strokes that anybody can do. And I'm going to go very slow. And it's a study session, and I need you to do homework. So I need you to practice this all week. You can practice over the weekend, put it on our site, on our Facebook site, and share your practice sheets with everybody so that they're inspired to go practice, okay? So I'm going to use my 3/4 flat brush, okay? This is my regular one-stroke brushes that are more like student brushes, and they're very inexpensive. You get 10 in the value pack for $16.99 on onestroke.com. And then this is one of my signature brushes. They're just a little bit better quality, and they're quite a bit better quality, but both brushes are very good for you stroking with me. The 10 most used brushes, and this one has some specialty brushes, so there's 13 brushes. And they're all on my website, onestroke.com. Okay, so now this is what we're doing. Do you see we're pushing very hard the first time, very, very hard. And I didn't share with you that I put this brush in water and I then lay it down and get the excess water out, and then I start loading. But the first one I want to load with is the 3/4, because this is going to show you very easily how to make this loading and shading happen. So it's 2/3 full of paint all the way up. And sometimes I'll tell you to push it down and see if you can see the water run out of that brush, because sometimes we think we get it all out, but it's still there. All right. And I also showed you, I'm going to do a whole session on using your double loader to load your brush, because that makes a big difference too. And I've shown it right here before. And the double loader, we put the medium in here and we put the paints, and it helps you learn how to load the brush better. But right now we just have a foam plate. I want you need some paint and a set of brushes, and watch my show. Okay, so these are simple strokes. I want to start right here first. Let's come way over here so you can see. And I want to talk to you about doing 1, 2, 3. And I want you to see that my handle needs to be straight up. I also am going to show you a position the brush needs to be. When you're here, you're up on the chisel. That's what it looks like. Can you see I'm up? And if I smash too much, it doesn't make a nice stroke either. So this is the key word that you have to remember for this lesson, is I want you to be half sprung. So half sprungs between this and this. All right. So I want you to pick up paint. I want you to go 1, 2, 3, and I want to see if you're springing. All right. So if you're halfway between this and the chisel, then I want you to try to put your little finger down. I want you to practice scrubbing. I need more paint. All right. So after you've loaded the brush, all you do is come here and get more like this. Every once in a while, you can dip the pink and stroke next to the white. All right. Now, the key to picking up more paint is not going all the way in and doing that. Then you have a big glob. All right. So this is what I want you to do. I'm going to wipe that off, and then I'm going to dip my paint, because the inside the brush is already loaded. All I need to do is pick up more white usually, or right here is your runway where you can pick up. So you push down over here, way over here, push it down, and the edge corner of that brush barely picks up white. All right, that's the key. Okay, now watch what happens. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's to blend the color. 1, 2, 3, I'm half sprung. See my little finger? This is the movement. So So I want you to take your hand and go like this. You're scrubbing with your fingers, not your whole hand. 1, 2, 3, scrub. I'm a half sprung. I start scrubbing and then I pull the brush. All right. Now you can have a nervous shake. This is what people do with a nervous shake. All right. So what I teach them to do, I keep coming over here and getting paint. What I teach them to do is go 1, 2, 3, start scrubbing and do this loose, and I pull it gently. All right. So this is what happens if you're doing it 1, 2, 3, and you start pulling, but you don't pull it very fast. Okay, that doesn't look as pretty as this. This is loose and easy. I keep picking up, stroking white. All right, so if you're lefty, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to get that blend like you want it. Start scrubbing and then pull the brush. So what I want you to see, guys, is you're going to pull it up and down and see how nice that blend is. And you can see you're running out of paint. All right, so this is a lot to teach you in one stroke, on one simple stroke. That's a lot to teach you. But if you've done the first 3, a single leaf, a teardrop petal, and a chisel stroke, this is the next one I teach. Now, what you can do this with smaller brushes or bigger brushes, but what I want you to see is that the flat of this ferrule, this is the chisel edge. This always lines up with this. So see, this is flat. So that means you don't want it down and twisted. Because see the edge of the chisel, and here's the ferrule is twisted. So watch what happens. I'm going to wiggle, and wherever I want this brush to go, I pull the whole brush with me. See, this is staying with this chisel edge. See the chisel edge? It follows the ferrule. Okay, so I need lots of that practice. Okay, so now I'm going to come with my 16 and show you the same thing. I'm going to dip the magenta and come over here. This is magenta and white. This is my multi-surface, FolkArt multi-surface paint. I push really hard back and forth, and then I pick up and just, that paint I pushed into the inside of that brush. Now I am just getting the outside of the brush to have paint. Now, when I say multi-surface, I want you to see on top of the bottle, it has a different metal, wood, glass, canvas, and it's called FolkArt multi-surface. And what I love about it, it has a sealer in it. It goes on tons of surfaces, and you don't need a bunch of different paints. You can just use multi-surface paint. Now, it's easier. You don't take up so much space and so much paint if you start with a 16 flat. All right, and I sell just 16s by themselves, but usually you want your 3/4. Just remember this, these value pack, 10.59 value pack. That's what you want. So you got a scruffy in there, and where did I put them all? There's a scruffy, a number 12, and a script liner, and I had them all in front of me, so I guess I put them all in this basin. All right. So you have a 12. This is a 10. We need a 12. And a script liner. I have a package with a 12, which is bigger than this, the 3/4, and a script liner. But you can get the 10 with all your scruffies and everything that I'm going to be teaching you, all in a value pack. Okay? So let's come in here and see. Now I'm on pink, so you don't see that very well. So that's double loading. Now I'm going to show you how to multi-load. And then I'm going to go pick up some yellow, and I want to work that in white and a teeny bit of yellow. So now look what happens on this pink background. This is like a peace rose. All right. So I'm going to come around, and because I flipped the brush over, I need to re-stroke that. See, 1, 2, 3, they're starter strokes. And I keep coming over and getting more paint. Let me put it here so you can see it. More paint. And I dipped a little bit of yellow and then the white. 1, 2, 3. Every time you get new paint, you got to do a starter stroke. But there's paint on this side. So I can go back over anything I'm not happy with, guys. So I can come right here and a little bit of yellow, work it in. And we're going to do 2 more petals. Okay. So this is going to do, I'll show you later, it's going to do an open rose where I put a center in there. It's going to do my layered rose, my cabbage rose, which I have a whole video which teaches you how to build that cabbage rose. But what I want you to do is pick up one color, 1, 2, 3, scrub and pull. And I'm going to pick up yellow, so we're going to multi-load also. And I call this a seashell. See that? That's a peace rose color. Because if you did a seashell, it's a scallop look. See that shell? Or a fan. I call it, you might hear me call it a shell or a fan. But this stroke's going to do lots for you. So I want you to practice the wiggle. The wiggle. So 1, 2, 3, scrub and pull. All right. So it depends on how quick or how slow you pull, which is going to give you the look we want. And we don't want you to wrench it around like this. Okay. See all that? Well, that doesn't look as bad. But it isn't right. Watch this. I'm going to spin, 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 spin. So see how it spirals this way? So this scrubbing is going this way. All right. See the movements? So when you know it's right is when you're here and all of this fans all the way across to there. From there to there instead of spiraling this way. Because see, this is still going that way, like this. Okay, we don't want that, all right? So a little bit of a worm, caterpillar, all right? So bad and good. If you're out of paint, this is a single stroke, and if you put enough paint on your brush, it will clean, it will stay, and if you run out, you just keep coming back and getting more. All right, so I stroke maybe twice, but I come back almost every stroke, and then I can put layers on top of layers as long as I have plenty of paint. Can you see that? So it's not going to be muddy. I can come here and go over here. See? And I'm going wet on wet. This is wet on wet, this technique. Do you see that? It's not muddy. You see shades. You blend, shade, and highlight in each stroke. So that's our shell stroke. I'm excited to see your practice sheets. Practice, 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 and come share. And I'll see you next Friday, if not before, on FolkArt. It is on Facebook, our Facebook page. Our group that I want you to join is Donna Dewberry's, with an S, Donna Dewberry's official, because there's a lot of one-stroke groups, official one-stroke group. Come join us. Bye-bye.